we're going to go over cleaning and care of a carry gun. Happens to be my wife's double action revolver, and it's been put into a condition that you're liable to find or what you're liable to encounter on your own. So we're going to clear it, how to get all the ammunition out, make sure that you do that in a safe fashion, and then let's go over some places where you would look for dirt to stop the action. Carry guns are special because they have to save your life maybe one of these days. So they don't get the regular treatment of a trailer queen, as we used to call them, a gun that lives in the safe and only comes out on special occasions. So the carry gun will stop action if dirt is in the wrong place, in moving places on a revolver, parts around the cylinder, or parts on the action where the hammer and the trigger operate. So we'll go over how to clean that and how to not over lubricate that so that it doesn't collect dirt that'll cause a problem in the future. I have here a carry version of a .22 double action revolver in kind of the condition you're liable to find it in if you carry it every day. So take it out of there. Always mind the muzzle. We don't know whether it's loaded or not. Well, I do because we set this up, but yeah, first thing first, right off the bat, open the gun and lo and behold, there's the ammunition. So we're going to take those out. Wow, there's a dirty one that's been fired. There's a bunch in here that have not been fired, and look at the condition. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but there's some corrosion on the ammunition. Hence the reason for what we're talking about today on how to clean a carry gun. This gun is intentionally in a pretty dirty condition. So we're going to gently operate it in a safe direction just to feel how dirty and gritty it is. And it has a good bit of dirt. So we're going to need some oil or solvent to clean it with, and then we're going to have to virtually dry it. A carry gun, if you dry it after you've cleaned it, it will collect less dirt and function more properly when you go to use it. I'm putting a patch in a cleaning rod that is the appropriate size for a .22 caliber gun. They come in long ones for rifles, short ones for pistols. These kits are available at your favorite local hardware store. Walmart has them. They're inexpensive. I happen to use Hoppy's No. 9 as a solvent just because I like it. It works real good, and it doesn't cause any undue damage to my firearms. So just get a little on there and clean each of the chambers with that. Put a little in there. Now if you left that in there just like it is now after having cleaned it, that'll be wet with a lubricant and a solvent, and this Hoppy's No. 9 is a solvent which actually dissolves copper given long enough period of time. And that is apparently what was in there that did this to these bullets, because the jacket is copper on the casing and it's been started to erode. So we just clean those all out, wipe with this basically a patch with the same stuff on it around the outside, because it takes dirt and stuff off real well. Get all of the visible dirt removed from the operating parts of the firearm down in these little lugs. Okay, so here we're cleaning these little notches in the cylinder. These notches correspond with this piece, shiny piece you see sticking up. That's the bolt. That indexes the gun and lines the cylinder up with the barrel. So they need to be clean. Obviously, it's dirt that's in here could prevent that lockup from happening. And in the time of need, which is the reason you have a carry gun, you don't want your gun to lock up. So anywhere you see visible dirt, just wipe it off with a little bit of solvent, and then take your little rod and clean these little areas that stuff tries to hide. Okay, and look at all the stuff. Yuck. Okay, now that we've got the primary open parts of the action pretty much clean, I'm going to go in the end of the barrel here. Unfortunately, with a revolver, from the front is almost the only way you can do this without using a bore snake or a piece of wire, perhaps with a patch tied onto it. And that puts a little solvent and stuff in the barrel to help that stay clean as well. And then we use the infamous toothbrush. And it's nice because it just flicks the stuff out of the way without rusting or rotting or leaving any residue. clean it up a little bit, and it helps to dry the gun while you're doing it. It removes any excess lubricants and solvents that you may have gotten into tight spots while you're taking it apart. Now here in the hinged area where the hammer moves back and forth, you'll see dirt and dust. See all that dirt and dust? You want to get rid of that. There again, anywhere that something moves, dirt is your enemy. And on a carry gun in particular, if you oil that heavily, more dirt will just collect there. Clean them up a little bit. Make sure it's all nice and fairly dry. Not so dry as to be rusty, but just wiped so that it's not wet with oil and brushed free of debris. There. Now you'll notice that it operates much more smoothly in the single action operation and in double action. It even swings out and spins better. That's all the lubricant that we're going to put on this thing. Typically I'll wipe these off with an inert material. You don't want to use solvent on that because it'll cause that type of tarnish and corrosion. So we'll wipe them off with a silicone cloth or some other dry lubricant. Okay, in summary, you want it to be clean. It has to be clean because if it's not clean, it probably won't work. But clean does not mean wet with oil. Wet with oil is going to attract dirt and stop it from working. So this gun is pretty clean. We'll wipe it off with a silicone cloth or some other form of dry lubricant cloth, and then load it back up and put it back into service in the holster.